National transportation systems would include a network of waterways and canals. These bodies of water could minimize the threat of floods and droughts by diverting floodwaters to storage basins. In addition, these canals could supply water for irrigation, fish farms, and recreation. The canals can also be used for desalination using a method of evaporative condensation. In some instances, ships could serve as floating automated plants, capable of processing raw materials into finished products while en route to their destinations. Huge ships and submarines with many removable and interchangeable compartments will carry freight across the oceans. Rather than separate containers, an entire freight section can be automatically disengaged at the port. Bridge designs would be greatly simplified and bridges can be made corrosion resistant. They would be prefabricated and transported to the site by twin-hulled catamarans. On some bridges, trains could be suspended beneath traffic lanes. Colonization of the oceans is one of the last frontiers remaining on Earth. Prodigious oceanic city communities will evolve as artificial islands, floating structures, undersea observatories, and more. These large marine structures are designed to explore the relatively untapped riches of the oceans and provide improved mariculture, freshwater production, energy, and mining. This could offset land-based shortages. They could also provide almost unlimited riches in pharmaceuticals, chemicals, fertilizers, minerals, oil, and natural gas. Ocean cities would be resistant to earthquakes and greatly relieve land-based population pressures. The population would vary from several hundred to many thousand. Underwater oceanic viewing and research facilities provide expansive panoramic observations of the undersea world in its natural habitat without disturbing the ocean environment. Unsinkable floating sea domes will attract those who prefer unique offshore or island living. In the event of inclement weather, they could easily be towed ashore, mounted and anchored to elevated support structures. Mariculture and sea farming systems are used to cultivate and raise fish and other forms of marine life to help meet nutritional needs. These marine enclosures are designed as non-contaminating, integral parts of the ocean environment. If we use science and technology with human and environmental concerns, it could be a vivid future showcase of the human potential when working together to preserve the greatest gift we have, the resources and beauty of our planet Earth. In the final analysis, we are one people and share one planet. If you desire more information on any of the systems seen in this video, visit our website at www.thevenusproject.com.
If you couldn't see the screen because of the daylight, I wanted to mention that this video is running on a loop up in the ICSE exhibit. And again, I just wanted to thank Peter and Frank for hosting this lecture and that exhibit. There are also other videos up there. For those who don't know much about our work, all of the designs in this video were done by Jacque Fresco. And unlike the film you just saw, we live in a world where our social systems are old, our language is old, the way we acquire goods and services is outdated. Our cities are detrimental to our health, chaotic, and a tremendous waste of energy and resources. And our politicians do not provide a way out of these problems. In other words, they do not serve us. But our technology is racing forward. We're trying to adjust to the rapid advances in technology with obsolete values, no longer work in our technological age. What is needed is a change in our sense of direction and purpose, an alternative vision for a sustainable new world civilization unlike anything in the past. This is what we are presenting here, and we call it the Venus Project. And the activist arm, organized by Peter Joseph, is called the Zeitgeist Movement. When I refer to sustainability, I'm not referring to sustainability for the banks, the corporations, or the obsolete social system that we live under. By sustainability, I mean the well-being of all people in a new system that would help bring them to their highest potential while protecting and preserving the environment. What I'm talking about is intelligently managing Earth's resources by using the methods of science to organize and manage society. I'm not referring to scientists running things, but the methods of science applied to the way we applied to the way we live and achieve a more humane society for all. Almost everyone prefers using scientific means when it comes to surgery, the building of aircraft, skyscrapers, bridges, and automobiles. Over the centuries, we've developed a consensus that when it comes to matters of personal safety, we choose science and technology rather than primitive belief systems or politics because science has been proven to work. Then why don't we use scientific scales of performance when it comes to planning our societies or our cities, transportation systems, healthcare, and so on? If science has a lot to do with what works, then clearly there's much about today's social and economic systems that are not scientific, because things aren't working very well for the majority of the world's people and the environment. If they were, war, poverty, hunger, homelessness, and pollution would have been solved long ago. Unfortunately, our social structures evolved when there was no overall global planning or an understanding of what shapes human behavior, and these are not being considered today. The Venus Project, on the other hand, wants to apply an intelligent method of planning for planetary survival. If we don't apply the scientific method to the way we live, unnecessary human suffering will continue. We have the technological ability and the resources to feed, house, and educate everyone on the planet. But our practice of rationing resources through monetary methods never provided the means to do so. Then how do we ever begin to solve our problems using the methods of the monetary system that we all live under? The use of money is hardly ever examined, but let's consider it along with how much it influences our behavior and our values. Money itself doesn't have any value. There's no gold or anything to back it up. It's just a picture on a cheap piece of paper with an agreement among people as to what it can buy. I would say a forced agreement because we really don't determine the prices of things. If it rained if it rained $100 bills right now, everyone would be happy except the bankers. So let's look at money. Money is just an interference factor between what we need and what we're able to get. People think in terms of wanting a job to get the money to fulfill their needs. But if they really thought about it, it's really not the money they want, but the access to the necessities of life. The use of money results in social stratification and elitism. They say in America that people are equal, but most people